The real estate market over the past year has been absolutely crazy, and there's a lot of movement in different types of industry, and it's not a big surprise that a lot of people are looking at the real estate industry as a new career or something to transition into and to themselves become a real estate agent. Well, I thought it might be useful for me to give out a few pieces of advice on what I think new agents should do as they make their journey towards becoming a real estate agent. And this advice comes from my career. I started in 2006, and believe me, I've had the opportunity to have some really good years, and I also had the opportunity to have a lot of bad years where I thankfully learned a lot from my lessons. So these three pieces of advice that I'm going to be sharing with you are formed in a way so that you don't go through the same mistakes that I went through, and you can accelerate your growth to, a career that is something that you really, really want and something that you're super happy with. So first of all, I need you guys to understand that if you're getting into the real estate industry, you need to make sure of what the reasons are behind that decision. Do you want to make more money? Do you want freedom? Do you want to be your own boss? Because real estate can provide you with all those things, but it can also leave you broke. It can leave you working more hours than you would at any other, typical 9-to-5 job. And not having a boss, well, surprise, surprise, you don't have one boss, you have multiple bosses. When we're talking about your seller clients and your buyer clients, they now become your bosses. So get clear on what you want, because the fastest way to get somewhere you don't want to go is to have no plan at all. But if you say, okay, well, this year I want to make $80,000 as a real estate agent, and we can look at your objective and reverse engineer it into so I've got a few useful videos on this topic, exactly. Either the path to freedom or the economic model are two videos that you should check out. They will take your goal and they will reverse engineer it into the activities that you should do every single day in order to achieve the goal that you want. All right? So get clear on what you want, because you need to know where you're going in order to get there. Number two, you need to find a mentor. You could go at it, trial and error, sort of like, I did way too much of. Or you can go out in your local community and find a local mentor that you can connect with. Somebody who's been in the industry for a while. Somebody who has done maybe a few mistakes that now they can teach you, say, hey, don't do that. Don't go spend money on useless stuff. We'll talk about that a bit more later. Somebody who has maybe an abundance of clients that would be able to give clients over to you. I myself started as a buyer agent on a big team and in 2006, and that was a great decision. It allowed me to work on a lot more transactions than I would have if I was going at it alone. So number two, find yourself a mentor. If you don't have anybody in your immediate circle, I'll post a link down below. If you want to book a free 30-minute call with me and you're curious about the real estate industry, I'd be happy to sit down with you free of charge, just so I can share my experience with you, and we'll see if this is a good fit for you or not. And number three, I hinted towards this before, please keep your expenses to a minimum. There's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to want to sell you lead generation tactics and will want you to invest in their one size fits all sales funnel to generate thousands of leads per month. Yes, those things do work. They really do. I've tried them in the past and they can lead to success, but you're in the people business and you know enough people and you've got enough people skills, if you're even considering a career in sales, that you can go after, the relationships that you already have in your life, and you can bring them value. I'm not talking about, trying to sell them anything, but educate your circle around the real estate industry, and you'll see you'll get enough business to get you started out in this industry. You don't want to go and spend, $2,000-$3,000 a month, and then you're sort of stuck behind where you need to go and make sales in order to catch up. And from my experience, the people that start off with heavy expenses, they have a harder time, selling, because people can feel that they're stressed about money and they're stressed about, making a commission in order to go past the break-even point where they're not losing money, they're starting to make some. My advice would be to keep your expenses at an all-time low. People don't care, if your car is a few years old, if it's not a bright new shiny Mercedes or BMW. Buyers and sellers, for the most part, won't care. They might even be encouraged to know that, hey, this is somebody starting out in the industry, and my business as a seller or buyer is going to mean a lot more to that person that's starting in the industry. So don't let the flash of the industry fool you. I know we all like to watch those HGTV shows where, people are wearing the $8,000 suits and driving the fancy cars, but keep the expenses to a minimum. The agents that I see that keep the expenses to a minimum, they have a lot more success because they can focus on what's important, servicing the client, giving good information to the client, and they're not stressed out of their mind over finances. All right, so there you have it. Those are the 3 tips that I have for anybody that's considering maybe becoming a real estate agent or is on their way to becoming a real estate agent. Again, if you guys are looking for a mentor and you can't really find one in your area, feel free to click on that link below. It'll be my pleasure to take 30 minutes of my time. I'll leave it up for as long as I can. I am becoming a bit busier with my one-on-one coaching clients, but as long as I can, I'll leave this video up and I'll leave that link active for you guys to get into my schedule for 30 minutes and we can have a chat about our industry. All right, guys, so I hope that you're enjoying these. I'm having a lot of fun putting them together for you. If you have anything to share down below in the comment section, don't be shy. I love the community that's forming around this channel, and I love putting this stuff out there. It's essentially 15 years of my career, just putting it on screen for you guys. I hope that you find value in it. If you do, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next week for another video.